Hey guys, Ryan here. If you want to improve your aiming capabilities, you probably want to get better at sniping in Warzone, and I'm going to explain why that is in this video. Hope you guys enjoy this video. The first thing we're going to cover is how if you want to improve your headshot percentage, then snipe more. If you compare the stats of a good player versus the stats of a bad player and you're using a third-party website, one of the first things you'll notice is the difference in headshot percentage. And what this means is how many kills are they getting because of the headshots they hit. And for a lot of people, it's not very high. For good players, it's anywhere between 15 to 25, 35, even 40%. Some of the best players in the world, the reason why they're so good is because they're almost impossible to beat when they're hitting headshots like that. You can look at almost any gun. It can be the Blixen, the Bullfrog, the Modern Warfare MP5, and guns just do so much more damage if you're hitting headshots. And by sniping, you start training yourself to hit headshots way more often. You're going to start hitting headshots when you're in SMG battles. You're going to start hitting headshots when you're using assault rifles. And you're going to notice the improvement, and you're going to notice in how much more damage you feel like you're doing. And if we're being realistic, Warzone 2, hitting headshots is probably going to be even better than in Warzone 1, and this is going to be a much more important skill. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about this really helps on is it really helps with pre-aiming and centering. I'm sure at this point in time, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you're probably sick of me always talking about centering, but it's because it's the foundation of any good aimer in Warzone and just in any game in general. When I harp on having good centering and good technique, it's not me just trying to say it to fill in random content. No, I mean it, guys. This is the fundamentals of having good aim. And if you want to start winning more gunfights, if you want to be a better player, you have to have this. And sniping, it teaches you to pre-aim because you have to be aimed down sight to hit the shot most of the time. It teaches you how to center because you're trying to obviously center on where their head's going to be to hit the easy headshot. And it just teaches you to predict where your enemies are going to be because that's how you have to play with the sniper, especially if you're trying to be more aggressive. I really think that sniping just makes you a better player overall, and a lot of people don't agree with this. I think some people think that's just sitting in a tower all by yourself, all alone, not really doing anything. No, that's not the way I'd recommend to snipe. I'd recommend to push people, be aggressive, use something like the Car 98 or Swiss where you can't even one shot outside of 15 meters. Try and win those close range gunfights with the sniper because that's going to make you a good player. The same way that I pre-aim and center with my sniper is the exact same way I pre-aim and center with my crossbow, the exact same way I do with my SMG, the exact same way I do with an M13, an assault rifle, or whatever. All of those skills are transferable, and a lot of people, they don't implement this into their game, and that's why I really recommend to snipe. But moving on from there into the third topic, sniping means you usually grasp positioning much better. So there are a couple things I'm going to talk about here. The first is you realize how powerful and how many long range angles there are. If you're on Rebirth, if you're on a map like Fortune's Keep, you start to realize how many towers there are that can see half of the map and how many people are vulnerable to long range snipers. The flip side of that also is you start to realize how easy it is and how powerful head glitches are and how to counter them. When someone's on a head glitch and you can only see their head and they can see your entire body, a sniper shot is one of the only ways to counter them. And a lot of the time, if you want to hit that sniper shot, you have to make sure you're centered properly. You have to make sure that your aiming fundamentals are good. And that's the only way to win the gunfight. And this is why I think it's so important to dedicate some time to actually learning to snipe. You learn so much about positioning. You learn so much about power positions. But you also learn how to avoid power positions. Take, for example, Water Tower. Because I fought so many snipers up there, I know what angles they can see me at. I know what angles they're vulnerable to. I know how to rotate on the map without being exposed to them. And part of the reason I learned this is because I snipe a lot. Now, I'm not recommending for you guys to be tower snipers. I would recommend to do it 1 or 2 games to actually learn how to counter it, what angles are good against it, what angles are weak against it, whatnot. But overall, the vice versa also works with head glitches, guys. When you snipe, you need to learn the good head glitches to counter them, but you also need to learn those because when you're sniping and you're on a head glitch, it is so powerful. This gives you time to reload. This gives you time to pull back and deal with the whole bolt action part of the Kar 98, the Swiss, or whatever sniper you're using, other than the Garanko, of course. And it just gives you space and time to play and just play the game. So to wrap this video up for this last little minute or minute and a half, I really just want to talk about the point of this video, because I really think that having good aim, being able to hit headshots, having good centering and pre-aiming, all of that's going to be super important for Warzone 2, guys. If you're wondering why I'm talking so much about Warzone 2, it's because we're pretty much 3 weeks away at this point in time, and we have to get ready for it. I love Warzone. It's much more movement based than Warzone 2 looks like it's going to be, and I think having good, solid aim, the ability to hit headshots, all of that is going to be super, super important in Warzone 2. Being able to hit 1 or 2 headshots is pretty much going to be the difference between you dying and you living in almost all of your fights. And I can guarantee this. Okay, I shouldn't say almost all of your fights. But I think for most part, in Warzone 1, movement was the thing that won you a lot of gunfights. I think for Warzone 2, it's going to be your aim, your ability to hit headshots, and it's going to be a lot more about your core aiming fundamentals. You have to see it more like a game like Counter-Strike and Valorant rather than a game like Call of Duty and Apex. I still think movement's going to be important, and I really hope it is, because I have super good movement, you know, not being biased or anything like that. No, I'm kidding. I'm definitely biased. But I do hope you guys understand what I'm saying about the aim thing. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to be live streaming Modern Warfare 2, hopefully on release day. We're going to see exactly how it plays out, but I'm hoping to get a stream up soon, and then we're going to definitely have a stream for the Warzone 2 release. If you guys enjoyed this video, it's been Ryan. Peace.